Welcome to the depot of the Militärhistorische Museum Dresden, der Bundeswehr, and we are here with Jens Wehner.
Hello.
And here you can see already a Flak 88mm and another one, and back there is a Feldhaubitze 18.
Yeah.
38. Here we have, I think this is the Wiesel 2, and behind there's the Wiesel 1, or is it the other way around?
Good question. I don't know. I think this is 2 and this is 1. I think you're right.
Yeah, here's the Wiesel 1.
Yeah,
So
you can see it. The armor is much more thicker.
And here's the small one. And then here we have
a lot of East German tanks. So I think our collection has a strong point in Cold War equipment. Yeah. Has to do with German history. Meaning especially a lot of the East German army, because when the East German army was dissolved in 1990, there were just a whole army was erased, and we could collect a lot of stuff of the East German army.
And behind there you can also see some torpedoes, because why not?
Yeah, because we are not a museum for only one branch of military.
But so this is a
PT-76.
PT-76.
Yeah.
Most of you probably know from War Thunder.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it as a historian. It was used as recon, and it was very easy to drive on sea and rivers with that stuff. It's an amphibious tank.
Here we have a Leopard 2A4.
Yeah, it's a Leopard 2A4. We have a Leopard 1 driving school tank, a Leopard 1A1, A4. We have several T-34s, several production years. Some are from World War II, some are after World War II from Poland. We have equipment of the National People's Army, like this tractor, I have to say. 80 tractors for heavy equipment. We have a Gepard, which is an anti-aircraft tank on the base, on the hull of a Leopard 1. It has 2 35mm cannons. I think around 5,000 rounds per minute, but I'm not sure. It's really...
Yeah, it's a ridiculous number. And
yeah.
Up there, this is a really nice model of a plane.
Yeah, it's a drone, I think, a little bit.
Oh, here that's the Duster.
That's the Duster, yeah. It was the predecessor, I think it's the English word of this, of the Gepard. Yeah, it was.
And speaking of anti-aircraft tanks, here we have a ZSU, I think the
Schilger, yeah. 4 times 23mm.
And its predecessor is back there.
Yeah, it's ZSU 57.
Yeah, I actually could drive, not drive myself, but sit in the turret when somebody was driving.
Oh, really?
In Slovenia, Puka. Was amazing.
Okay. Yeah, the Ostschreck is a tank that was built by a GDR citizen to break the wall, to break the Iron Curtain, to get out of the GDR. Oh. It was self-made, but it was never used because when he was done, the wall came down, fall down, and then GDR was over.
Here we have a T-55, T-54 training vehicle, basically. You can see a lot of stuff that is in there.
It's for the education for officers in the GDR. And you see it's cutted to see all the technical equipment that the tank is needing, hydraulics and braking liquids and so on.
Here we have another T-55, T-72. This is also T-52, right? 55, I mean.
I think this is a 62. This is our 62.
Ah, okay.
And he is from Israel, so he was in combat and conquered by the Israelis. And you see there is some desert camouflage, and then it was painted over by the Bundeswehr in green.
Okay. And here actually, you can see this is a Czech production, T-55, and you can see this on the slit of the machine gun, because it's wider it's higher. We had actually some identification issues, and Mr. Koch told us how it is. Here we have the Luchs, the German
reconnaissance vehicle, yeah, from Cold War.
Then the successor of the Sturmgeschütz to a certain degree.
Yeah, let's say it more from the Jagdpanzers.
Yeah, more of the
Jagdpanzerkanone.
Here we have some sort of artillery.
Yeah, heavy howitzers from the Red Army two times. And I'm not sure what this is, but I think it's American, but I'm not sure about this.
Yeah, looks more like. So then so these are both the same?
So yeah, it's the same. Yeah, you can see it was exhibited during the Sdkfz exhibition, which I curated. And this is the text which was in the exhibition. Yeah. Because the breakthrough for artillery is the day of the artillery, still today in Russia, the breakthrough at Sdkfz. Because artillery was very important for them.
What is that?
This is for ships. It's
that's like the R2D2 of
it's I don't know what is the English term of this. I think CIWS.
Yeah,
it's for narrow defense. Yeah, it's Russian, 30 millimeters with 6-barrel Gatling. Yeah, 6-barrel Gatling, and I think it's called AK630 also. Similar.
Something written there. 30 millimeter board Flak.
Yeah, AK630. Yeah.
Lehrgeschütz.
Yeah, okay, it's so for educational stuff. Yeah.
So this looks like, I think, a Sexton. I'm not entirely sure.
Possible.
It looks like in the front, like the Ram or the Canadian. This is a Mantis, if I remember.
Yeah, it's a Mantis. Yeah, this is the self-defense system of the land bases of Germany in dangerous terrain.
With that, you can shoot down mortars, right?
Yeah, mortar projectiles and artillery.
So but it's a cannon, so it's
a cannon. Yeah, it's very quick reaction with radar and computer control.
Here we have a turret of a Panzer 38T.
Yeah,
and also a turret of a T-76, T-34-76 with a 76 gun.
Yeah,
these were used as emplacements here around the fortress of Dresden, right?
Yeah, fortress of Dresden, or I think the Panzer 38 turret was used in Frankfurt-Oder. Next to the Oder, yeah.
So that's Frankfurt-Oder, that's the eastern Frankfurt.
The eastern Frankfurt,
not Main,
not
which
Frankfurt
most of you might know with the big. Yeah. And here we have another training variant of the T-55, I think.
Yeah, turret? Yeah, or T-72, I'm not sure. I think it's more T-72, but it's a turret trainer. Yeah. And behind this is NATO one.
This is another PD-76?
No. Those are self-propelled howitzers.
Yeah.
Left is 122 millimeters and right is the bigger one, 152 millimeters. And I think the designation in the GRAU index is 2S1 and 2S3. They have also a name like flowers. I don't know why, like acacia.
I mean, a flower blows up, maybe from that.
I don't know why they do this. They do this also with their...
This is an interesting one. If you look up there at the top, you can see there are a lot of vision slits actually. So what's the thing behind this, and what is it actually?
It's for educational reasons, for officer candidates to watch maneuvers, to learn, to observe maneuvers.
And it's a BTR?
BTR, I think it's a BTR 152 chassis, and this is built over then.
Okay. So this looks more like a riot thing?
It's also...
or is it also an observation?
I don't know, it has a special purpose. I don't know what purpose, maybe commanding station or stuff like this. I don't know.
So here we have a French tank, which...
AMX-13.
Which some who served in Austria might recognize looks very similar to our Kürassier Jagdpanzer. So I think the Austrians were inspired by the French in this case.
Yeah, we have BTRs in several different versions. Yeah, I think this is an anti-tank version, and this is an anti-air version.
Oh, and a BMP.
Yeah, this is a BMP-2.
Just one, so it's a BMP-2.
Yeah, but there's a BMP-1, and there's one usual BMP in the APC variant. I think it's the right one, and the left one without the rocket is for recon. It has a bigger turret.
Yeah.
It's a recon BMP.
And then we have a Alpha jet, right?
Yeah.
Also, of course, we almost missed the Wehrmacht. So we have the leichte Feldhaubitze 18.
Yeah. The
painting is not original.
No, it's not original.
And you might wonder what this is. Now, there's a bit of a hint. There's a Flak 88 there. So this is an aggregate, I think, or not, or a power generator for a Flakscheinwerfer, for a
big Flakscheinwerfer, 150 centimeter.
And these are, oh my, is this the, no, it's not, no. I thought for a second it's the double barrel Flak.
No.
From the Flak. I was getting too excited. So, and here, this is a Lorraine Schlepper.
Yeah.
A Lorraine Tor.
Yeah, they were captured by the Wehrmacht in 1940.
And I hit myself.
Yeah.
Well, at least it was German steel. This is probably why it hurt so much. This was found, in France?
In France in 1940s, the Wehrmacht captured, I think, I'm not sure, I think roughly 200 or so, and they used it for different purposes.
And then, of course, we have the Sonderkraftfahrzeug 251, the half-track.
Yeah, D version.
Also painted by...
Fantasy
to a certain degree. And also with a not original drilling up there.
Yeah.
And this is, we are not sure it's, I think, a reproduction?
We think it's a Czech production after the war, because they had to build Sdkfz during the war, and they had the same technology still available.
So, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff here, but we are not finished yet. Because here we have recovery tanks. This one seems to be based on the IS-2.
Yeah, right? It's IS hull. Yeah, I don't know. I think the hull is not so different from IS-1 to IS-2. I'm not sure.
Me neither. So I'm still trying to figure my stuff out about early war. That looks like a T-34.
T-34. Yeah, we have several tracking machines from.
And here is a Panzerhaubitze 2000. So that's the the successor to the M109 basically, which was American production. And this is I think in the Afghanistan camouflage, right? So that's a big beast. So previously I tried to get a picture of it, to get the barrel and everything, and as you can see, it's actually not so easy to. Yeah, now the ladder. So can we? Yeah, almost. So now we have everything in there. And you're probably gonna ask, why can't we see this in the regular museum? Why is this locked away from the public? And so what is the reason behind this? Because I know it makes a lot of sense.
It's the main reason is conservation. We are in a quite modern depot. It's built in the 2000s, and it has a certain climate to conserve the objects in here, to conserve them for hundreds of years. This is really our goal, to conserve them, if possible, for eternity. And people who are in a room are making climate. Yeah, they are breathing. There's a little bit maybe of
sweat.
Yeah, moisture. And in general, this is not good for all objects, no matter if it's a tank or a paper or whatever. And this is the main reason why they have to stay in climate, and why we can't just say, oh, let's put all the vehicles out of the depot in the free space, because after years they would be really weird. And we have some tanks who are out, and those are doublets, meaning we have them double, and it's okay one piece to be out there in the free space, in the free air. But you can see that they are in the free air. After some years, you have quite big problems, especially with the stuff in the vehicles. Yeah, the rubber and all the stuff is very, very dangerous to moisture and air and so on.
And other reasons are, of course, limited amount of space, because I guess also another big would be insurance and everything.
Yeah.
On those, the spacing issue, if you look, in some cases, you can't even walk between the tanks. I mean, if you look here, and if you pack a museum like this, I mean, you as a tank fan probably say, I have no problem. I just want to see more tanks. But there are people out there who have like a bit more aesthetic requirements. Let's put it that way.
And also contextual requirements. I mean, most things here are made to kill. And I think you have to contextualize it a little bit. What was the thinking behind these tanks? What was the purpose of these tanks? What was the purpose of all these objects? And at least I have to say, military is not just tanks. I mean, tanks are for many people most fascinating. But as a military historian, I would say it's only 1%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to say, if you want to show real military history, you can't just show tanks. It's only one part of more modern military history. And many conflicts even today are there where tanks are not playing that major role. Yeah. So you have to say tank. And we are a museum that tries to exhibit the whole complexity of military and all the stuff that belongs to military violence and how it impress our culture and so on.
I mean, I know this problem because if I make a video about logistics, very few people watch it, and if I make a video about tanks, a lot of people watch it. So yeah, it's generated the stuff. So, well, thank you very much, Jens.
My pleasure.
Now, sadly, this depot is closed off to the public. Yet, as mentioned by Jens, many of the vehicles are actually out there, and you can take a closer look. They are outside of the museum, located to the left and right side. As you can see, there is the Wiesel, the Panzerhaubitze 2000 and others. Then there's also the Marder, Gepard, 109 and lots of Warsaw-packed vehicles there as well. Of course, there are also some vehicles and equipment in the exhibition itself, like the Kettengrad and the Infanteriegeschütz 18. Furthermore, the museum itself is a looker too. Big thank you here to Jens, Jörg and the Militärhistorische Museum der Bundeswehr Dresden for making this possible. Thank you for watching and see you next time.